we are. Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do something new today. This background's probably gonna look familiar. The scene and everything's probably gonna look familiar for a couple of videos because I have a couple of different Freedom Cedars out here, and we're gonna do a little lead farming today. We're gonna plant some out here in these berms. We're not gonna do a lot because it's hot. I'm a ginger, and the sun decided to come out as we got out here. But I'll get out what we're playing with here in just a minute. One thing that we are doing today is we are going to do a review of these Savior Apollo electronic earmuffs. Never used electronic earmuffs, I've always used plugs. But we're going to try these out today and see how they do. As well as we are upgrading from a 22 by double. We are going to play with a Ruger Vaquero Bisley grip. What makes it a Bisley is it's very straight up and down here, and the hammer spur is real low slung. This is a single action and 44 Magnum, hence it is twice the size of a 22. Of course, that's just the numbers. Ballistically, it's insanely bigger. And today we'll also be playing with this is a brand new firearm. It is so pretty. But what we have here is a Heritage Model 92, right? Is that right? I don't know. Bought it a while back ago. Where does it even tell me? It doesn't even tell me on here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's a Heritage Model 92, made in Brazil. I've always wanted a lever gun, and I've always wanted a lever gun and a matched caliber as a single action large bore revolver. So Locked and Loaded had this. They had this pop up. They bought a pallet of them, and I only paid $430 for this. 16.5-inch barrel, 8+1 capacity, side gate loading. Beautiful. I love it. The only thing I don't care for is right here. It's got a little manual safety, which it also has the half cock hammer. We'll get into all that probably back at the house. What we're going to do here is just take a handful of shots with both of these. I guess I didn't really go over the Ruger much. This Ruger, it's a red medallion. I looked up to see what the significance was with a red medallion because I haven't seen a red medallion. They're always black, or they're white, or they're brass, or whatever. But I think this was made mid-80s, I think is what I came up with. But it features I don't remember if that's a 5 or a 5.5-inch barrel, single action revolver. The purists kind of hate on the Vaquero a little bit because you don't have to go to half cock to open the loading gate and free the cylinder. It's a bit heavier and a bit more robust than a Colt single action Army. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're shooting something in 44 mag, or even a hotter 45 long Colt, I'd rather have something a bit more robust that's going to last longer and not wear out as fast. You can see it's just got the groove in the top strap of the receiver that goes to a fixed blade front sight. We are set up right at 20 yards, like 19.7 I think is what my rangefinder said. I wasn't going to move the truck again to get that extra little bit. But we're just going to take a few shots with it. I've never shot a 44 mag before, so this could be interesting. It's always such a pain in the ass trying to film outside. Can't never see nothing. Okay, so what we have today that we're going to feed these. I only brought one box because I don't plan on shooting a whole bunch today. I got the cellular and bellet. 240 grain, semi-jacketed, flat nose, soft point, whatever you want to call them. Basically, it's a big old slug that looks like this. You can see it's semi-jacketed, but it's still a flat lead nose. These are great to run through a lever action, since in the magazine tube they are stacked, you know, since they're stacked point to primer like this. It's important that it's flat so it's not going to accidentally trigger that primer. And we also have some Federal Fusion 44 mag, 24 grain. These should be hollow points. Bonded soft point. So they're not hollow points. Oh, yeah, that's a little bit of a hollow point you can see there. But I bought these too because I need to double check the regulations and everything, as you should always do if you're not 100% sure on local regulations. But as long as this barrel length meets the requirements, I do plan on taking this to the deer stand this season. Okay, so a little bit less to do. Let's get this camera set up and hopefully I don't smack myself in the nose. Okay, so the Savior Apollo. Real nice looking set of earmuffs. I'm going to put them on and we'll see if I start yelling at you. Get them all wiggled around, get my ears in there. Switches back here to turn them on and control the volume. Okay, these come in a very nice box, bolted foam, all that good stuff. 24 decibel NRR noise reduction rating, cool gel ear pads, and they take 2 double or triple A batteries that go in the right side that are included in the package. I mean, they're comfortable. I was playing with them at the house a little bit before we came out here, and it was really weird. They are voice amplifying, so being able to hear, you know, with earmuffs on, somebody talking from all the way across the house is kind of interesting to see. I'm just really hoping that they actually work the way they're supposed to, and this big old 44 doesn't blow out my eardrums. So, just like any other single action, you'll take and flip your loading gate open. Well, if it's an older Colt clone, you'd have to bring the hammer back to half cock and to get your loading gate open. But then you just turn your cylinder, you drop in your big old bullets. And it holds 6 rounds. You close your loading gate, turn your cylinder to where it clicks, and you're ready to go. We got our eyes, we got our ears. Liv, you got your ears? All right, we're ready to shoot. I'm gonna have this camera pointed at me, and we'll see how it does. A little nervous. Was that 5 or was that 6? Just kidding. I already knew it was 5. All right. So that was 6. We'll go ahead and check it out. Yep. All right. And then unload it. Flip your loading gate open. Oh, no. first two just fell out. But you got a little push rod right here. You line that up with the cylinder. There it is. And oh, you got to find the right cylinder, I guess. And then they just drop out. Oh, I guess I forgot to mention the earmuffs worked out great. So anywho, let's go ahead and fire off a few more, as long as my battery doesn't die. That trigger is great. Click. Ah, I flinched a little there. Did you see that? I'm going to unload this and change that battery. Okay. Now if I counted right, we got those Federal Fusions up first. There should be 2. And then we'll go into the just 4 more rounds of the others. And that was not a good battery. Alrighty. Here we go. We'll see if we can't tell the difference. Oh, that was definitely a bit warmer. Alright, we're going to take a switch and load the rifle up. Okay, again, now we got the Heritage Model 92, 16.5-inch barrel, big loop lever gun. We're going to take and stick 8 rounds in it and touch them all. And this loads by the side gate. Put your nose of the bullet in and just shove. Alright, we got our 8 rounds loaded up. Make sure our stupid little safety is on red. And then just like any other lever gun, you just wonder why the hell it jammed before you even got to load it. Okay, maybe it just doesn't like the flat nose bullets, but we'll see. Second one went fine. Ah! Damn it, to Christmas, talk about load it on Sunday and shoot it the Saturday. And we're empty. Okay, one thing about this I already don't like. There is a screw right there, and it definitely digs into my shoulder. Alright, I took and stuck 4 more rounds in here. I set up a Gatorade bottle down there. I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm hitting well enough with it. I set up a sheet of poster board down there, but I've just been kind of shooting fast and not really paying attention to what I'm doing. So, Let's get another round chambered up in this and take a look at it. Well, I got it on the last one. Let me just pick a hole down there and see if I can see exactly where I'm hitting. Of course, then again, that front sight right there takes up quite a bit of room. Well, let's try it out. I hit me in the face. Okay, so I have no idea where that last round went, but we're gonna load it back up. I've got this old water jug that came, or I got it on Black Friday last year to take to work because it's handy. It's a big water jug, but it leaks and I hate it. And if the water's cold and the air's warm, you open the little flip top here and it sprays water all over the place. So it's getting blown up. I got a new water jug for Father's Day, so that one's getting destroyed. And then thanks to my favorite Target store, Dollar Tree, I picked up some, what the hell is this? Tampico Zero Sugar Pineapple Coconut Punch. I don't know, it looked disgusting. The cashier lady said that her husband is diabetic and asked if it was any good, and I said I have no idea. I'm gonna go feed it to a 44 mag. But I told her I'd try it, and that's the only reason why I brought the video or the camera out to do this. That's actually pretty tasty. Needs a little rum. Okay, so I put 4 more rounds here in the rifle. First up, we're gonna have 2 of those Federal Fusions. They're much warmer. I'm actually gonna get a little bit closer. I know it's kind of cheating, but we're gonna move up a little bit closer just so I'm not burning through a bunch of ammo. 44 mag isn't exactly cheap. So we'll probably cut the distance for 10 yards, give or take. I'm gonna spin it around, focus it on the bottles, and hopefully we'll actually blow them up. Okay, water bottle first. Now Tampico. All right, here's Pea Shooter. She wanted to try out the rifle.
Good now?
Yep. Just throw that lever forward, then slam it back up. Oh, you kicked out the live round.
What?
You kicked out, I think you kicked out your shell.
Yeah.
Yep, you kicked out your shell. Okay, she's reloaded.
Is that it?
Yep, kick her out. Alright, well, bit of a change of scenery. We are obviously back at the house. Started having some issues. My camera was dying. I brought a second battery, but I didn't check to make sure that the second battery was charged. So when it's not charged, it doesn't really do you any good. So my afterthoughts on the Ruger Bisley Vaquero in 44 Magnum. As I stated earlier in the video, this was my first experience. Look at that thing, it's just so pretty. This was my first experience with a 44 Magnum. Turns out I really like it. It's hard to beat a good old single action revolver. It really truly is. This gun I loved. The rifle, which I sat in here because it was very short space. My bow bench, my workbench, is a frickin' mess right now. This guy right here, the Heritage. Like, there's some fine detailing there in the stock. Like, this is a pretty rifle. Like I said, I only paid $430 for this. But there's definitely some ugly about it. For one thing, I apparently have a little bit of trouble with those buckhorn sights. Let's see if I can zoom in down the sights. So the buckhorn sights, I was definitely having a little bit of trouble with. Apparently my eyes are starting to get kind of bad. And, yeah, I was just having a few issues seeing them. You guys only got to see a little bit of the paper target that I was actually shooting at. So they were kind of all over the place. The majority of those were with the Vaquero. So, you know, cut me a little slack. I don't shoot near as much as I would like to, and it definitely shows. What I love about this gun, well, it was on camera. The very first round that I tried to load got all hung up there inside the receiver. But everything after that fed just fine. The lockup is good and tight. I mean, she locks up. That is actually half cock. That is all the way down. As with all lever guns, that first click, there's your safety. This crap isn't needed. But that's purely aesthetics. That brass bead there on the front sight, I picked it up fine. Just seeing it through the buckhorn was a little rough. Biggest thing that I have to complain about is this screw right there really digs in, and then there's some fitment issues here. Let me get that up there. You see how that lip is right there? And the edges of that are sharp. So the steel plate was not fitted to the stock very well, which is a $400 rifle. This is not a $1,500 Winchester or an $800 Henry or a Uberti or what have you. But I do really like this. I'm going to order a slip-on butt pad for this to cover that and to give a little bit better length of pull, because it is a little bit short. Yeah. And to hide these edges because they are rather sharp and uncomfortable. Let's set that back in there. But ordering a slip-on butt pad, it's not for the recoil, and this is just me with my pride. It is not for the recoil. It is just simply for the comfort because I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but my shoulder is beat up. Like, I'm not a recoil sensitive guy. I'm not a real big fan of Patrick's one shotgun that he has. That's a little excessive. I'm not going to go tell stories about, you know, what he has. I had an old side-by-side. It was a 12 gauge, and it had the double triggers, and sometimes you pull one trigger and it likes to send both barrels. I did not hang on to that gun, mainly because it didn't do it every time, and I don't like that big of a surprise, and it shouldn't do that, so it went on down the road. The other thing we did today, we tested out the Savior Apollo earphones. These were a Black Friday deal that I picked up at Locked and Loaded. So they come in this very nice case. There's even a spot up here. Can't really see it in there, but there's a spot in the foam up here that you can stick your batteries. You know, you're not going to use them for a while. My hearing is definitely starting to not be as great as it was once, and I had those on and had the volume kind of turned up a little bit because the volume is adjustable. It says on there that they are voice amplified, which is amazing for an older guy. But I was 20 yards away, and Pea Shooter was just talking in her normal voice, and I could hear her. So that was pretty amazing. So I definitely recommend those. And if you guys ever get a chance to pick one of those up. And of course, you know, we're not sponsored. None of us are sponsored. I'm surely not sponsored, but yeah, that's it. I think I'm gonna quit talking and get this wrapped up. If you guys enjoyed this video and enjoy this kind of content, you know, definitely let us know. You know, drop us a comment, hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button, ring the little notification bell. I ain't gonna try and do this and tell you which way it is because I don't know. But anyway, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. I got another video to shoot that I unfortunately didn't get to shoot the way I wanted it to. But yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want to see, you know, drop us a comment. Leave us a suggestion. If you guys appreciate what we're doing, drop us a comment. Let us know. If you guys hate what we're doing, if you hate seeing my face, drop a comment. Let me know. You're still going to see it. Or you won't. Anyway. But that's it. If you guys got something that, you know, a goal, destination, anything, if you guys have an idea, get after it. And keep after it. Until next time.